Now, after understanding about these options, how to use in the form have an input group also. So the input group related options, input group will keep everything in one line actually. And earlier input group have a lot of options, but now we don't need them. In the latest options, we can use, yeah. Yesterday, we have a document browse. Yes, so bootstrap models, positions, alerts. Yes. And this is the input group example yesterday we given, right? So we learned about that, right? So then after understanding this input group, in that input group, so you can keep all in one line. That means you can configure everything in one line. So we can display everything in one line. And this is the example that I showed you in the last session for that. You can use different content. You can configure and use different contents there, right? So what are the different contents is, let me show you. Yeah, this is the input group. So with the left and right option, it can be only left, only right, like that. That means we call this mechanism as prepend and append actually. Prepend and append. Append means right side, prepend means left side. We have both sides attached. So that is prepend and append. So generally sometimes what you can do is, so we can add here. So let's add a heading. It can be only append also. Append also. That means, so we have a div, and in that we have to put a class input group. And here we need to specify, in that we need to just specify a text box. So input type is equal to text, and the class is equal to form control. Then generally it will have this appearance, that is the text box. And right side we will give a simple span, and this span will have @gmail.com, like this. And in this we will put a placeholder, your email, and @gmail.com, you can see right side. And I want it to be combined inside that area. Then generally what we can do is we can give this class as input group text. We can give as input group text. Input group text, it looks like it is added to the right side. That means you can have append. Append means right side it will be there. You can have both append and prepend, right side and left side. You can have prepend also. Prepend also you can define. So combinations, that means here I can add, so we call prepend. For example, we have seen input type is equal to text, and here class is equal to form control, and before that we will put a span ampersand hash 8377 semicolon, and that is rupee symbol, and we can put class as so input group text, and you can see that it will display like this, but we have to keep that in input group. So this too must be defined in a div, and that div should have a class called input group. We have to configure as input group. Now it is going to define that input group rupee. This is prepend. We can have both prepend and append. We can have both prepend and append. So we can configure that. So the prepend and append options can be defined. That means it depends on the direction where you want. So you can have multiple prepends also. So you can have multiple prepends also. That means multiple prepends means you can have like this multiple prepend, multiple append. That means I have like multiple. That's nothing but just we define a span. First we keep a div and we put a class as input group, and here we put a span. This is like first name, and another span, this is like last name, and here we have a text. Input type is equal to text, class is equal to form control, and here we can define so class as so input group text, and we have input group here also input group text. Both are before the text box only. Then this is multiple. You can have multiple prepend, multiple append. You can display in any way you want. That's the combinations. We can add them. This is used to keep your form in one line and it looks like it is combined. That's how we have to design this. So this is an example. So for all those options, this is another example, input group. So prepend and append styles. So this is an example for that. The prepend and append styles, we can add that. Okay. So this is, let me copy that here. So that is an example. These are input groups, means how we can deal with the input group and work with the input groups. Next, in the Bootstrap, another option we have Bootstrap collapse. So how you can deal with the collapse? Actually, collapse is used for show and hide any element. We can show hide any element that you can manage by using collapse. So for example, anything, paragraph or any content, you can show hide. Let's close and create a new file, collapse.html. And in this, we are defining doc type, HTML, head, title, collapse. So, and let's link here. So, yeah, we are linking there. So link relation is equal to style sheet, and the link href is equal to node modules bootstrap dist css bootstrap.css, and in the body section, so we will put the script source is equal to so node modules jQuery dist jQuery.js, and we have the script source is So node modules, bootstrap, dist.js, bootstrap bundle.js. jQuery interactions also required for this. For general input groups, forms, you don't need them. Here we need this. Now here I'm designing a div. So class margin top as some 3. Okay, and this class is a container fluid. And here we keep a div, and we are creating the data list definitions. So in that div, we will keep a simple button. So button as a show, hide, show, hide, show, hide, some content. So here we are using, so the class for button. So class is btn and btn primary. Okay, below that, we will keep a div. We will keep the class as card. And in this card, we will have a div class as some card body. And in that we have just a image source is equal to assets some shoe.jpg. So width, so 200 and height 200, something like this. Now this is the card we kept inside this. Here we have, and this is the design. Let's open that file separately. So this is the card styles we are having and display. There can be other details also for this. You can have some name and configure that here. Class as card header, class header, and here we will keep an heading. So suppose Nike casuals. Okay. So the heading is defined for that. So now, so that is the option here. Yeah. Next important is in this approach. So we need to show hide the content there. That means this card must able to show and hide. We must able to show hide. So in that case, you can write for this card, the class you can keep as collapse. Actually for the card, I am giving the collapse option here. So for that, I am using collapse. So the collapse should have an ID. So ID is some preview. Okay. And on the button, we need to toggle that. So we have to use data -bs, bs -toggle. What to toggle? Collapse. Okay. What is the target? Data bs target. So bs target is equal to, we need to keep the option, so that is hash preview. So now you can see that. So here it is hidden. I click on that, it should display. Again click, it should hide. So show and hide the content. You can generally keep this by default display. That means collapse show. Collapse show by default it will display, and click it will hide. Again it will display. We are defining that option. Actually, I am giving some fade effect. Usually fade effect, you can see that it is going to display in a fade style, disappearance, not sliding, hiding and displaying. Like, so if I don't use fade, it will like be sliding up and down, like slide up and slide down. So we can add these options by default to configure that this is. So now we use this collapse in various combinations also. But this is simple collapse option. That means you can show and hide any content dynamically. You can show and hide any content dynamically. For that, you need these options. This is used in various locations again. So depending on the situation, we use in various locations. So this is the classes. The classes are, so we have like collapse. So we have collapse, and we have like collapsing. You can use that collapsing also. That means it will put some transition effect. So show, we can use that option. Transition starts. That means collapsing is nothing but if I use collapse and collapsing, that means actually it will add an effect while it is collapsing. It will add an effect while collapsing. While collapsing, it will add an effect. But that we have to add with jQuery. With jQuery, while collapsing, we can add some transition into that. For that reason, we use it. Initially, this is enough. Collapse is enough to handle. So this is basic example for collapse, how we can design collapse. A simple example of configuring the collapse. Yeah. Next, important. So in the Bootstrap, we have Bootstrap carousel, carousels. Carousel actually used for, it is used for creating sliding banners. So banners. It is used for sliding banners. We can create sliding banners. So that means configure. So we can configure slideshow of content. So it allows manual and auto show. So we can control that. Generally, in almost several websites, you will find that sliding banners and all. So that means every website will have usually, like you see Amazon, and in the Amazon, you see this is the banner, Readmi, and that is carousel actually. That means automatically it changes. It changes. That means you see automatically every few seconds it will change, or you can have these buttons. With the buttons also we can manage that. You see automatically it changes every few seconds. So slides we can configure automatically. So now that is generally done actually. So the point is we have to design this. Automatic slideshow will be there, and we can add controls also into it. We can add controls also into it. We can add indicators also for that. For that, we need proper slides design. So we can put with captions. We can add different types of contents for that. I will show you. So how we can configure that carousels, how you can define them, right? And no drastic changes happened into this. Only few changes are there. Some 1-2 new things are added into that. That's what we need to understand. Rest of all same like old options, right? So we can use an old option. Same like you can put any text also. So don't think that carousel is only for images. You can put any text. We can add text. We can add images according to our requirement. We can define anything. So let's see how we can manage this. For that, we need some banners like this. Okay, so what we will do is in our project location, in the assets, and in the assets. So let's keep some slides here. So you can copy those slides from those Amazon site, or in my computer. So I have some slides here. Slide are there? Yes. Slides or banners. Yeah. Slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. 3 slides are present. I will copy them and keep here. This is slides, right? Slide 1, 2, 3 PNG files are present. Okay, now how you handle this? How we can present this? So let's check. For that, these scripts are common in the body section. I will add a new file. So in the Bootstrap examples, and that is carousel.html. In the carousel, so we are adding doc type HTML head title carousel and link the Bootstrap. Link relation is equal to style sheet and href is equal to. So here we need Bootstrap node modules, Bootstrap dist css bootstrap.css. And in the body section, we will keep these scripts, so which are same, no change in them. And the class as container fluid. We are defining that container fluid there. And now here we will add the carousels. Generally, carousels we need to keep in a div, and we need an ID for this. ID as some banner or carousel demo. So top banners, like top banner, something like this. That is top banner. Okay. Now we have the class. Class is we have to use carousel. So carousel is the class. And the carousel will have an animation. So slide is the carousel animation. Slide is the carousel animation we generally give for carousel. Now inside the carousel contains, so the class carousel inner. We have carousel inner. So in the carousel inner, we have carousel items. We need to design the class carousel item is a banner. Only one item you need to give active. And first is dot. And the class we will give as the same we need for second image and the third image. The 3.png. Carousel, in the carousel inner, in the carousel you can put text and you can handle that. Now you see here I am configuring that, and let's run this and see. When I run this, this is the first banner. So the banner, and after a few seconds it should go to the next. So we need to give, we can handle automatic control and is equal to which one? Carousel. This starts the carousel. So BS ride. We need to use these classes. So many options are there. I will tell you here. So the classes are, we have initially basic classes. Carousel inner. So we have carousel. So dot carousel, and we have carousel inner. So we have carousel item. This is basic, and we need a data attribute to start. What is the data attribute to start? So BS, we have to use BS data, and BS ride. You have to use that attribute. So only the BS option will change. Rest of options are same for that. And it will start displaying it. That means it is going to configure and display that and show it. So that is the carousel by default started, and it is showing these banners. Now you can add controls if you want to manually handle it. You can add controls. So how we can add controls? So for that, we can design controls. And for controls, carousel controls, control classes, controls. So carousel controls related classes, we can have like carousel control previous. We can have like carousel control and next. Actually, previous icon will be there. Previous icon is for previous button, and icon is for the symbol. And similarly, we have carousel control next, that is for next button. Carousel control next icon will be there. These are carousel controls. And carousel controls requires to go to specific slide, and we have to use that. So attributes to attributes for previous and next navigation. Attributes for previous and next navigation. So we have to use the attributes data. So BS slide. We can add as previous. We can add data. So BS and the slide, we can say next. If you want to any specific slide, we can add data BS. So slide 2, and we can give certain slide number also. That means which slide to navigate. So we can define that slide number. Slide to 0, slide to 1, index numbers we can give. We can give index numbers. So that is the options we have. So we have carousel controls. Controls means, see how we can add the carousel controls. Only 2 controls will be there. So what we will do is, after designing the carousel last item, inside the carousel inner only. Inside the carousel inner, after the last item, what we are doing means carousel inner, if you add, that will be inside. Make it relative to the parent. Then what you do is better put carousel inside the carousel, after the inner, use a div. Here we will add, so we can add a div, or we can directly put buttons. That means 2 buttons we want inside the carousel. So we will use a button. This button is for previous button. So we have to write class as carousel control. So previous. So that is previous button. It should have an icon inside it. So we will put a span class carousel control. So previous icon. That span will keep an icon. So just like a font awesome icon, there will be a previous icon. Similarly, another button. So class is equal to carousel control next. And in that we have a span. So class as carousel. So carousel control. So next icon. Now very important, these two buttons should work for carousel. So target is the same carousel name. For which carousel they should, because in a page there can be so many carousels. The ID for the carousel is top banner. So here, this button, so data BS target is equal to hash top banner. So second button also target top banner. But when you click on this, so it will use prev for previous. Yeah. Slide, we have to give next. These are the commands to go to the previous and next. So these are the commands used for navigating to the previous and next. Now you can see that here the carousels have indicators. We can change the colors effects by customizing the classes. Already I told you, we can customize the class and we can configure. Actually, the carousel, so elements here you can see in this, so the navigation, you see this is the next button and this is the previous buttons. We have previous and next buttons inside it. Left and right side, previous and next buttons are present. But these buttons are used to navigate to any specific slide. That means they are used. Okay, so you can see here the previous and next slides are present. So, and the buttons will be there. Automatically they are sliding, and right side button, it will go to the next one. It will go to the previous one. You can go back and go next. We can manage the navigation here. So we can change the location and we can configure it. That means, but this is used to, so this is used to handle the navigation left and right. That's basically how it works. So this is only to the next and previous, but sometimes we need indicators. Generally, purpose of indicators is go to any specific slide directly. That means if there are 10 slides present, you can go to the 9th, you can go to the 8th directly. We can put indicators also. Generally, to add the indicators, so we can do one more work here. So what we have to do is here, after these buttons, you can keep a div. And here we will create class as carousel indicators. Indicators, how many slides are there? Those number of indicators you have to create. That means buttons. 3 slides are there, 3 buttons will be there. These 3 buttons will work as 3 indicators. That means actually, so inside this, those indicators will come. But for that, we need to see indicators. 3 buttons are there. 1, 2, 3 buttons are there. But those 3 buttons are not working anywhere. So that means indicators buttons will be there. We need to write them. Navigation on click, they should navigate. So then for that, what we have to do is for indicators. So you have to define. So the target and the class, we need to configure them. So class, I will give first button is first indicator. So class I will give as generally active. So class I will give as active. That means the first one will be active. And for carousel indicators, and this target and slide to, these two are important options. Target and slide to are important options. That means here we have to write data BS target. Target is hash top banner. Okay. Data BS slide to which one? So this is 0. This is to first one. Similarly, the others also. I will copy that and this button. This is slide to 1. Okay, this button will slide to 2. Like that, we need combinations for them. So we need to configure that as button. Now you see here, so the indicators will come like this actually. Indicators means usually you can see 3 bars will come there. 1, 2, 3 bars are there at the bottom, in the middle center. And user can click on any one. I click on first one will come. I click on second one will come. I can click first and directly go to the third. That means you can go to any particular item directly. You can go to any particular item directly. You can go to that location directly. So that is generally how we can use indicators. We can go to the previous and next. We can go to the previous and next, or we can go to any specific. So that is generally we have to define by using. So now recently what happens is in the websites. So because our websites are used on mobiles like devices very much, they given a new option for touch also. That means you can go to left and right. For touch devices, we can manage that. So what we have to use by using a data BS touch, I will tell you in JavaScript how to write touch events. Then you can use those touch options also, because these days we need to write by using touch options. Touch options allows us to manage the combinations with the touch screens devices. So we can configure, these are the options. And carousel, they given a new theme in the latest version for carousels, but it is good for text like content. For carousel, this is the carousel class. You can add a carousel dark theme they have given. Carousel dark theme they have given. It's a new one. So that is nothing but a theme, dark theme. Then you can see that the buttons are more visible now. The buttons are more visible. Indicators and all are more visible now. So better use this dark theme for keeping these controls visible on the banners. Previously, they were not properly visible. So properly visible means depends on your background banners. If your background banners are light, then it's okay. But if your background banners are very dark, then these previous next buttons and indicators will not display properly. They will not display properly. So that is the reason better what we have to do is, so better we can go with this dark theme. So that is the dark theme we have to configure. One more option is here. One more option is, so we can define carousel a fade style. we can give a carousel fading style. So that means if I don't give slide, so this is the carousel. I am not giving any slide option. I am not giving slide. You see, they will not slide. They will just change. They will just change like this. No sliding. They will just change like this. So no slide option will be there. That means what you can do is you can keep the options. So animation, or you say transition. Transition can be defined as slide. So without slide, so it will without slide class, right? Without slide class, it will remove the transition. Without slide, it is going to remove the transition and it is going to keep the transition. So you can handle the transition by using slide. And we have a carousel fade option also. So carousel fade option also. That means, so without slide. So you can remove transition. So disable, remove slide. To disable transition. To disable the transition, you have to remove the slide. Remove that slide option to disable the transition. You can apply carousel. You can apply carousel fade style. You can use carousel fade also. You can use carousel fade. That means here we can use carousel fade. Carousel fade will be like this. That means when you keep this image, that's like a fade effect. Fade effect is just like dissolving and displaying. But that fade effect, generally when you are giving the fade effect, suppose you given here, so slide and fade, these two options we are defining. The intention of slide and fade is, that means we can change the transition effect. You can see it looks like fading. It will not immediately change. See, slowly transforming from one to another. If I don't give fade, then it will be slide. You have to give combination of slide and fade. That means then the transition will be slow. Transition will be slow. It will be like this. And this is fading effect. And if you remove the fading effect, it will be sliding effect. If I remove the fading effect, it will be sliding effect. That means it will be now sliding. You can keep slide and we can keep fade. Combination we can add. Depending on the requirement, we can define that. So what we have to do is, so you can define fade effect, fade and slide. So that is combination. That means in the div, so we have to put a class carousel. So we have to define slide and carousel. We have to use fade. We have to use carousel fade. That's the combinations we need to add. Slide, fade, both. Another point is when you can even put a timing for every slide. That means I don't want every advertisement to display so much time. Suppose first advertisement, it should display. And a second advertisement, I want just 2 seconds fast. It should remove immediately and go to the next. Because some advertisements we need to keep more time, some we need to keep fast. Then what we can give interval. That means by default, some time interval is there. What you can do is for the carousel item, you can put data BS, so here attribute data BS interval. You can add interval. Interval is some 4000 milliseconds. That means 4 seconds. And the second one, this second item, data BS interval, interval, I will give as 1000 milliseconds. That means only 1 second. And the last item, again, data BS interval. So BS interval, it should be some 5000 milliseconds. That means the second one will be very less time. You can refresh and see now. First one will be 4 seconds. And after that, second one will be only 1 second. Third one will be again 5 seconds. That means second advertisement will not display more time on screen. It will be just 1 second. You can put timing for, so every slide individually you can configure and you can define separate timing for that. This is carousels. How you can create a carousel. So how we can create the carousels, inner carousel indicators and carousel controls. These two are basically required for designing it. So that is carousels, and very popular and very regularly used. And remember, there can be multiple carousels. You can keep the height and width in a div. So you can display like a slideshow of images, banners. It depends. That means don't think that this is only for banners. Suppose some image gallery websites will show. When they show the image gallery, in the image gallery, their photos will be there, half screen, full screen. And they can scroll and navigate and see that. So this entirely can be designed by using the carousels. That is the best option. And this is an example for that. So I will give an example for this. So this is an example. And this is the example for carousel. We have carousel indicators and everything defined inside it. Okay. So that is carousels. Another option regularly used in websites is drop downs. So we have bootstrap drop down. We have bootstrap drop down. Generally, these drop downs are very regularly used and very important for designing navigations. Actually, they are important for designing navigation, and almost all are similar. No change in the old version. What we have, the same we have in Bootstrap 5 also. So what is the point is, generally why we need such drop downs? Why we need the drop downs? What is the purpose of drop down actually? The purpose of drop down is nothing but usually when we design a drop down with select, because from form select option also you can design a drop down. But the problem with form select is, so select contains option. In the option, you can put only text. Suppose I want to put an image, text and image. You cannot have them. It is just collection of text. You cannot have images. So plain text. Even you cannot have format for text, bold, italic, only plain text. So suppose we see websites. In websites, navigation will be there. Like suppose we say Flipkart. In the Flipkart, navigation is there. And in that Flipkart, you see when I click on more is a drop down. When I click on that more, so it should give these options. This kind of options you cannot design. You cannot design. So with general forms, we cannot design. These are all designed with Bootstrap dropdown, because general form dropdowns, they can have form dropdowns. Usually they can have only image. They can have only text. We can keep images also. So for that, what are the options we have to use? So all classes are same like old version only. So that means actually Bootstrap drop down related classes we have, like I given in the notes of that. You will have classes like drop down. So we have like a drop down, that is the class. So we have the class like drop down item. So we have drop down menu. So we can use drop down item, drop down menu. So drop down toggle, right? So we can use these options. So for drop down, main options are drop down and drop down menu, and inside the menu, so drop down item, and sometimes we need a drop down split. So we have an option called a drop down divider. Divider is used for showing like a splitter. So divider is used to separate our items actually. For that we use drop down this. So that these are the basic things we use. And generally drop downs have themes. Recently they introduced the themes for different effects actually. So we have drop down have a menu with a dark theme. That's the new one. So that is dark theme you can define. This is mostly used for navigation bars actually. In the navigation bars, we use this drop down dark themes. I will show you how to design a navigation also. And another option is when you are designing the drop downs. So we can have the direction of drop downs, and we can handle drop down toggling like options. Actually, the directions means we can use like drop up. Generally, usually menu will drop down. We can create an option that it can drop up. We can also create an option like drop right. So we can use the option like drop right. So we can option the like drop left. So directions also we can control drop right and drop left. For that, recently they changed the option as drop left. They changed as drop start. This is for actually left. And similarly for drop right, they have introduced the option as a drop end. So that is for right combination. So drop start, drop end, these are the options recently changed for the contents display. Drop end and a drop start. Earlier we used to have like drop left and drop right. So what is advantage is now you can keep some images and combinations inside them and configure them. That is the basic approach we need to know here. And these kind of drop downs are very much used for designing menus. So configuring and creating menus and requires jQuery, mandatory is required for that. So we will copy these two jQuery options here. Okay. So here, let's copy these options here. And let's go to create a drop down now. Let's add a new file here. So dropdown.html. Okay, in this dropdown HTML, let's create. So HTML and the head and the title is dropdown. And here we are adding the link relation is equal to style sheet, and the href is dist CSS bootstrap CSS. Let's add link relation is equal to so style sheet and the href as so no fonts CSS all dot CSS and font awesome like options we have defined there, right? Now after configuring this in the body section we are defining the option here, yeah, and the class as container fluid, and in this we keep the scripts there. And let's create a simple, just roughly I created so class as a btn group I told you, and here let's add a simple option for margin top as 3, and in this we will add a button class as btn and btn primary, and we have an option like more, just a option I defined there. But actually we need to define and configure this with an approach here. When I click on the button, it should open that pop-up and display. So then how you manage that? Let's see. We need to create a drop down for this. Initially, when I run this here, so in the page, we need to display that. So let's create a simple and see how it displays in the page. Let's close this. Some technical issue with the browser, we restarted that, right? Fine. Now here you can see we have this button more. And what's the point here is we need to display a drop down for that. So we need to keep a drop down for that. We need to keep a drop down for that, how we can work with the drop down and see. So generally, so we need to configure the drop down as a div container only. We don't use any form elements for that because form related drop downs have a problem already. So we don't use the form related options. That means we can't display complex text and others options also. So what we can do is to create a drop down now. You have to keep this button also inside a drop down if you want like a toggle. So let's do that. So I'm not defining this. Simply, I will keep a div. In the div class, you keep as drop down. Okay. And inside this drop down, we can add a button. So button, so class as btn and btn primary. This is used for toggling. So you say more, something like this we define. Now, if you keep a button inside the drop down, and you can make this button as drop down toggle button. So we can add a class called here. So the class is for this class, we can add drop down toggle. That means on that click, it should toggle. That's what drop down toggle is. And generally, when user clicks on the button, so this drop down should toggle. So the drop down should open and close. Then usually what we do here is we will create. So we will create a configuration for that with the attribute. We have to write data BS toggle. It should toggle drop down. It should toggle the drop down. Okay. Now, what are the items to display in drop down? We need to configure the items to display in drop down. So it will toggle the drop down. What are the items to display in drop down? So under this button, you can add items. You can add items as an unordered list. So unordered list will have list item. And unordered list is considered as menu. That means we will put a class as drop down menu. Drop down menu. We can add drop down menu. And we can put colors and effects, whatever we want. We can use colors and effects according to primary, secondary, these options we can keep that. Okay. Inside drop down menu, we have list items. And in that, we can keep an anchor. We can keep an anchor. And that anchor can have the class as drop down item. It have drop down item. So it is the class drop down item. And href is equal to some hash I'm giving it. And you know that anchor text. So I can give this anchor text. This is one list item. And in this anchor text, we can keep the text as, so we will keep the text as span, and we will keep as class FA, so FA bell, and we can keep the text as notifications. And here we will put notifications text, notifications like that. So that is one option. So notifications, right? Now that is one item. Inside the drop down, we have an item. Usually the list item inside the drop down, you see the more, and the list item notification will come. On click, it will show and it will hide. We can display that. We don't have any other headings there. Just I will keep a heading for your understanding sake. Drop down demo. We will put in a toolbar also. And this opens that notifications. And we can add many items now. That means every list item. So we'll have a anchor. So that anchor is drop down item. And here we defined as call. So phone. And here we will call as some missed calls like this. And we have another item. And for this, we defined as suppose mail. So mail or contact. So we will have like option mail. Okay. Mail bulk. And here I will say new mails like this. And usually, so these are all the items inside the drop down. So those are the options inside the drop down. And every item in the drop down item, one should be active. So that means one item in the drop down must be kept as active, others not active. So that option is very important to configure. That means the first item, so the item here we define as active. That is the first item, active. And we have the list items for configuring this. And all are the drop down items, so defined here. And we can have different items inside that, and it will display all this. And that first one is active. We can keep, so the options like suppose, so this is BTN dark. And this drop down also menu have an option drop down menu dark. So that keeps that items like this. We can put primary, BG dark like options we can configure. These kind of menus are important. Remember, these are used for navigation. We don't use for selection, right? We don't use this for selection. This is completely used for navigation. So not for selections, we use for navigation. That means navigating from one page to another page. Suppose you are dealing with selections, we are dealing with adding the items and removing the items dynamically. Adding and removing of items dynamically. Then these kind of drop downs will not suit for you. Then we have to use combinations of we have to use a combination of toolbars, that forms related select options. By using form select options, we can handle that. Now, one more important point is drop downs can be created with the nested approach. We can create the drop down with the nested approach. Nested approach means a drop down is present inside another drop down. We can configure like that. I will create one toolbar, like I will show you that. So usually that is regularly used in websites also. But this kind of drop downs are preferred mostly for combination of navigation. You can put a divider here. Suppose here you see we have another HR. We can add a HR, horizontal line. And here we can put a class called, so drop down. So drop down divider. We have a drop down divider. For horizontal line, we can keep the option like a drop down divider. Actually, it is called as a split. Generally, we call as a split like. So we can keep a drop down split. And under that, we can give some other options. That means this is generally to split and keep some more category of options under it. Earlier, yeah, for the list item, you have to keep that HR. That means what you can do is inside this, add another list item and keep that HR inside it. Means a horizontal line. After that, you can add one more item. So list item and the list item. So we will define some other options here. Suppose here we defined like FA help. So help. So our question. And here we have an option like help. So like this, and you can see that this is the drop down option configured, and the drop down is this, and we can have a split like separator will be there. So separator will be there, right? That is how we can configure. That is basic approach of defining. Yeah, you people, anybody turned on the videos, please turn off the videos. If I got disturbance from anybody with the videos, in the next second, they will be removed from the class permanently. I will remove you permanently from the class if you turn on the videos from even Google classes also. You will not able to attend the sessions anytime. So if you don't know how to turn off your videos, then once let me know, I will tell you how to turn off the videos. Use some common sense and turn off your videos because it is causing a lot of disturbance. Many people are complaining. Use your common sense. Don't turn on the videos, okay? Right. Don't make me to block you permanently from the classes. Right. Right. So let's see. Now this is a splitter. This is the splitter. So by using the splitter, we can display such options. So these kind of drop downs are good for navigation. These are good for navigation. And you can have colors, effects, anything. You have already BG primary, BG dark. We can add the colors and effects and display it in a more effective way, right? So that is the concept of drop down. We can put this in a toolbar and we will see that. So here I will use this and copy that. This is example for drop down. We will design a toolbar. Then in the toolbar also you can add the drop downs and we can create nested navigations also. But for creating toolbars, this is drop downs, how we can design the drop down. So we have to use another option, that is navigation bars. We have two techniques we have. Generally, we have navs and tabs combination. So we have navs and tabs combination, navs and tabs combination. So by using this navs and tabs, you can create a simple static navigation. There is another dynamic navigation. Dynamic navigation is, so it is a toolbar, dynamic navigation toolbar we can create. General navigation, we call this as base navigation. For that, simple classes are there. They are same, no change. We have, so nav, so we have the class like nav item. We have the class like nav link. So that's it. And you have a combination of nav styles. We have a combination of nav styles also. Generally, we can use the options like nav tabs, and we have nav pills. We have a nav tab style and a nav pill style. These are not changed, they are as it is. Actually, these navs are used with a tab combination also. With a tab combination also, we can design that. Tab combination so requires some options for tabs. So like we have to use an option called tab content. We have to use a tab content. Inside the tab content, we have like tab panes. So tab content and tab panes, these are the combinations we have to use. And how we can manage and how we can use this, I will show you in a simple point. That means the navigation bars, tab based navigations. But this is not toolbar, navigation toolbar, tab based navigation. For that, so this body section, I will copy this file and I will add another one. So nav tabs.html, and in this I will keep that. So let's clean up all this code. So in the body section, so you see here how to design a navigation here. I will keep a heading as nav tabs. Suppose how to design this navigation bar. Actually, in the div, generally navigations are configured as a list is better. Already I told you that we have a nav area, but this is not navigation bar. You have an unordered list. For unordered list, so we will have list item. So list item here we will have options like basic details. Basic details. Basic details. And another list item. So we are having like preview. Another list item we are having like summary or description. Three options are there. Generally, this looks in this way. So the nav tabs looks in this way. That is the basic details, preview, and description. Under that, so you see now, under that nav, unordered list or anything, I will keep a div here. I'll keep a div. In that, we will keep a class called tab content. In that tab content, we will have an ID as product info. That is the ID. And in this, we have tab panels. So we have a class called tab pane. The ID of this tab pane is like details. Okay. We have another tab pane. So class, so another tab pane. So we have this and ID as some preview. And here we have another div, the class as tab pane, and ID as description. Okay, now inside that we can keep some information. So inside that we can add some information. So like whatever content you want to display for that, you can add. Suppose I'm designing the information here, like what is that? So here details, we'll put a data list, data term. So name and the data definition. So here we have like some JBL speaker. Okay, and another data term is price and data definition, some price. Okay, and the data term stock, and here we have data definition available. This is in first pan. In the preview pan, I will keep an image. We can keep headings also. So in this pan, I will keep a heading. So as details. So okay. And in this, we have a heading like preview. And image source is equal to assets speaker.jpg. So width is 200 and height is 200. We are defining like this. And in this tab panel, again, preview. And here we said description. And here description. And another paragraph, something about some speaker. So some paragraph, some information. Now these are tab panels and tab options, and you see at the bottom, you can't see them. So the tab content, so we don't have anything to display or configure there. And by default, the tab panes, whatever you designed, they can have the option, so fade. And you can say show by default. So the tab panel, so that fade and show, we have to put with navigation also now. By default, all tab panes is having fade. One option will be using show fade. We are configuring this. And generally, when you are designing this and keeping inside it, actually, this is the navigation. Now we don't need this nav bar, this nav one. Why? Because now we will keep this unordered list as navigation. Directly we will configure that. Just what you have to do is put a class called nav. Okay. And you can see that. So when I give nav, and that becomes a nav, and every item will become a class as nav item. Every option becomes nav item. That means here I will give every option as nav item. That means all these are considered as nav items. Those are nav items. And here we have another class called nav tabs that will give a tab like appearance. Here you can see the tab like appearance will come. But for tab like appearance, we need separations. Tab like line came, separations will come now. For that, we need the buttons inside that. So we need the buttons. So configure the buttons. That means, so we have to write basic details. User must able to click on that basic details. So then what we have to define is we need to keep as a button basic details, and we will put a class as this is nav link. Usually it is a nav link. Same for preview also. So we are using a button. So class as nav link, and in that preview. And the description here also. So we have a button and the nav link, description, and the class as nav link. All right. This is the nav with the tabs and buttons. You see the appearance will be like this. Preview, description. Now by default, so one nav link, we can make it as some active. Basic details will be active. you see active will come like a highlighted option. So a very small highlighted, this is like a tab. So you can make that active in appearance. Now this should work for the tabs. That means what we need to do is when user clicks on them, the tab content should work. So that means on the button click, it has to access the tabs, and which tab also we have to tell. So on this button click, so first button, so data BS toggle, it should toggle. So tab, it should toggle the tab, and target data BS target, which tab to toggle. ID is details. Details is the tab panel ID. That means it will be first one. So let's copy that second button. So in the second button, so here we need to define on the button. So this also should toggle the tab, and the target, it should be to preview. It should be target to the preview panel, preview. And the third one here, we need to define. So this should be the target for description. So hash description. And you can see that is the panel it is showing here. It is displaying like this. On preview, on basic details, so and description, this information will come now. That means by default, you can access that and you can display the content. You can keep anywhere. Suppose we can see for the tab content that we designed. So here we have margin top as 3. So margin, so yeah, that's right. So top as 3. And you see the preview, the basic details and description will come here. We can keep the information, so and display that information according to the requirement. So this is tab. Actually, we have another option, like this is tab style. And here we use the nav tabs. And you have an option like nav pills. Instead of tabs, you can keep that pills like this. That will be like a button-like appearance will be there. So generally we use like nav tabs. We can keep like button-like appearance and configure that. And important is here when you are displaying any content. So in the tab panel, we can add some more transitions. So by using general options, we can give more transitions. So that means transitions are used. You can make this active. Currently, you see when we are running this tab panel, by default empty. Basic details should be active. That means first pan should be active. You can keep it active. That means it will start with that first one. That means by default, first button is active, and this also should be active. So let's save this and see. So the basic details, the details will be active now. So that is how we can create a tab. So we have to use a combination of tab panel and tab content. So let's save this now, right? Right, so you can see now by default basic details will be there. Preview, so description, and whenever page loads, by default details will come. So this is type is a navigation like combination we can create and define here. This is tabs, tab basic. You can create in any style, you can configure in any style and display. You can keep vertical also. So generally, if I want to keep vertical, then contents also must be accordingly. So that means we have vertical combination. You know that we already know rows and columns can be presented. So you can arrange in a vertical because display block will keep vertical. Otherwise they will be side by side. So you can have vertical. For that we have to use display flex, align items and flex columns. So we have to arrange the content in that. Then we can keep left and right column. It's nothing but you have to arrange in rows and columns. That's it. So these are all the options used for combination of displaying navigation bars. This is called nav bar. This is called nav bar. But remember, this is a basic navigation. But we have another option called nav bar that is used for creating dynamic navigation. Nav bar is used for creating dynamic navigation. This is just only simple tab based. I will copy that here. This is tab based. And now you see the tab based here. This is tab based. We have dynamic navigation. And for that, actually, we use a concept called nav bar. Nav bar is used for creating dynamic navigation actually. So dynamic navigation, it needs a combination now. So we have a nav bar. This is used in real world projects regularly, and on the main screen you see the navigation bar. It will be with this. It will have a responsive design. It will have a responsive design. For example, what are the classes? This is also no change, same as old version. We have nav bar. So nav bar, we have like a nav bar expand that will give full screen. And we can give nav bar expand LG, large or small like that. And we can give colors like nav bar dark. So we can give like nav bar light. And we have so nav brand. So this is nav brand. Nav brand is used for displaying. Nav brand is nav bar brand. Nav bar brand. This is used for displaying company logo or name. So, and you will have buttons we call as nav bar toggler. Nav bar toggler, and we have nav bar toggler icon. And what is the point? And very important is inside this, you have to use a combination of collapse, nav items, and all this. We need to create a combination with that and design. Usually, so what is the intention here? So what is the option? What are the features we need to configure here? Let's see. First, to create such navigation bars, we have to add all the jQuery and everything. This is the nav bar HTML. And let's go and design this. And I will keep all this empty now. Okay. Our rest of options are same. Your scripts and styles are same. Here we are creating a div. So, or for generally, traditionally for navigations, you can use nav. That will be better. So, and inside the nav, now for this, we are adding a class called nav bar. And we have nav bar expand LG for large screens. And we have nav bar, so like light, or we have like dark. I'm giving nav bar dark. Then BG I can keep as dark color. This is the nav bar. Actually, when you run this, so nav bar, it will look like this. This is nav bar. Suppose I said some empty as 3. That means the margin top will be like this. That is the nav. So empty 1. Okay, little. Okay, that's enough. Now you see here, inside this, usually we will have a navbar togglers. So we need to add navbar toggler and configure that here. Actually, you see in that we are adding navbar brand title. I will keep an anchor and anchor name Amazon shopping. We can put some icons like we can put a span. So class is FA shopping cart like this. Amazon shopping, that is the option you see. And for that, it is not displayed here. It is there, but not displayed there. So we have to use a class for this. This is called as navbar brand. Brand means the company name. We have to add that navbar brand, and let's keep href is empty initially. So this is how it displays. So how you can display the content there. So that is the navbar brand we have. Now generally, so we have, so after that we will have a navbar toggler. Inside the navbar, we have to create a button. This button so will be used as toggler. So for that we have to use as a class as navbar toggler, and this toggler, so we have to toggle with a collapse. I will show you collapse. Here we can put an icon inside it. Span class is equal to navbar toggler icon will be there. You can see navbar toggler icon. It will be right side like this. So to make this all appearance in a perfect way inside the navbar, again general container fluid inside it. We can keep container fluid container inside that. So to display the alignments correctly, we can use container fluid inside it. Now interesting part here is here. You see, when I change the zoom, that button will not be there. So when I adjust the screen width, then automatically that button will come. Toggler button will come. This button will disappear automatically when you are adjusting the width and it fits into it. You adjust the width, you see that button will come. And you can keep some items into it and you can display them on toggle. Actually, so that means below the button, we can create a div. We can keep a class as collapse, and collapse ID as menu items. So that is menu items. So we are defining that collapse ID as menu items. And it should be a navbar collapse. We have to use navbar collapse class. And in this menu, we have to define the items. So we need to configure the items. So we create an unordered list. For the unordered list, we are defining a class as navbar navigation. So this is navbar navigation. And in this navbar navigation, we are adding list items, and the class is nav item. And in that nav item, we can have a link. So the link is called as nav link. In that nav link, we can have like home. We can keep symbols and all relatively. So navbar contains nav items and nav links. So we can have another nav item home, like about, so like contact, like this we can define the nav items contact. But remember, these are kept in, you can put a drop down in this, anything you can design. This is collapse. This collapse should work for this button. That means the toggler button should use data hyphen bs. So toggle, what it should toggle. this button should toggle. So toggle collapse. Okay. Data BS target. Target is equal to which one? Target is hash menu items. That is the collapse present below it. We need a combination of both of them. Now you can see in the design, home, about, contact are there. But interestingly, what you see is when I change the zoom or I change the width, you can see automatically those will hide and toolbar will come. You can keep this left or right, your wish. That means you see toggler icon and these options, click on that, the menu will be disappear and these options will display. And when I'm adjusting the width, automatically that menu will be gone. That means now toolbar will change according to the situation. The toolbar will change according to the state and situation. So that's good. We can design such navigation bars and configure the navigation bars. Then you are watching on a mobile-like device, it will come like this. You can click and open the navigation and you can choose that option. And adjusting that, it will fit onto this. Large screens, it will display. So a dynamic navigation bar we can design. We can keep anything inside it, drop downs and any type of options we can configure and define. This is an example for a navigation bar, how we can design navigation bar. So we have collapse. So we have navigation bars, we have navigation items. So many things are there here now. Now in the Bootstrap, now one more important option you need to know is about how to use spinners, progress bars and options. That we will see in our next session tomorrow. Then tomorrow we can finish the concept of Bootstrap.